So this 90s hardcore rapper, he tries the gangster life for real. And guess how it goes. Now the guy goes by the name Cool C, and Cool C is 17 when this story starts, and he's living in Philadelphia, and he's a locally known rapper. He's part of a hip-hop group called the Hilltop Hustlers. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but all Cool C wants is to be a famous, successful rapper, and he'll do whatever it takes to get there. Then, one day in 1987, he finally starts getting traction, because he decides he wants to release solo music on the side, and he releases a song called Juice Crew Diss. And this song blows up, and it puts him on the map. And after releasing a few more songs, he signs a record deal with Atlantic Records, and in the next 2 years, he puts out 2 albums, and both albums do okay. I mean, they both make it onto the Billboard 200, and they don't stay there long, but, it's cool that they made it there. So now, Cool C is enjoying a medium level of success. You might call him underground famous. He's not rich, like he likes to portray himself in his music videos, but he's doing okay. His bills are paid, you might say. And a few years go by, and it's now the early to mid-90s, and the worst thing happens to him. Around this time, a new subgenre of hip-hop starts taking over: gangster rap. And artists like NWA and Dr. Dre have started dominating the charts. And slowly, fans begin losing interest in Cool C's style of music, which is more party rap, like bragging about having money and picking up women and stuff. So he pivots, and he tries to reinvent himself. He wants to be more hardcore. So he starts up a hardcore rap group called CEB, or Countin' Endless Bank. And CEB starts releasing some harder music. But ultimately, that kind of flops. Their album only sells around 15,000 copies. Womp womp. And Cool C, he doesn't know what he's gonna do. His music career is basically dead, and he's got bills to pay. And that is when he runs into a situation that's gonna change his life forever. So it's 1996, and Cool C is 26 now. And one day he's approached by his buddy from his hardcore rap group. This guy, Steady B. So Steady B approaches him and suggests that they rob a bank. Like real gangsters. Now, this would be the first real crime Cool C has ever committed. Despite what he rapped about in his hardcore rap group, he has no criminal record. But he's also really broke. So he's like, alright, I'm in. Then Steady B recruits this other goon to help them. And together, the three of them plan out this bank heist. And once they got it all planned out, they go and they steal a green minivan. Because, of course, they're gonna need a getaway vehicle. So the big day comes. The day of the bank heist. And it's morning. And Cool C and the guys, they park the green minivan directly outside the bank, because, the bank hasn't opened yet. And so Steady B waits in the car, as he's the getaway driver. While Cool C and the other goon, they're disguised as construction workers. And they wait at a bus stop right near the bank entrance, scoping the place out. They're waiting for bank employees to arrive and open the place up. Specifically, they're waiting for the branch manager. Now, this specific bank has no security guard during this time. That's actually why they chose it. Anyway, soon enough, the branch manager and some employees arrive to open the building. And once they unlock the doors, boom, Cool C and the goon pull out their guns. And they grab the managers right at the entrance, and they shove them inside the building. Then the goon grabs an employee, and he marches him toward the vault. He's gonna force them to let them into the vault, but opening the vault is gonna take a minute. And Cool C, he stays closer to the front door, standing guard. Now, while they're fumbling around with all that, one of the employees is quietly able to activate the silent alarm, which alerts the local police. But Cool C and his partner, they have no idea that this just happened. Meanwhile, a police officer is patrolling nearby. This woman, Officer Verd. And so Officer Verd gets the call, and she's like, I'm on it. So she heads over to the bank, and she gets there and she's completely alone. But this could be a legitimate bank robbery. So she draws her gun and she walks inside the building. Meanwhile, the goon and the employee, they're still trying to get the vault open. And Cool C sees Officer Verd come through the door, and he straight up panics. He points his pistol right at her, and blam, he shoots her. and she collapses. And as soon as she goes down, Cool C and his partner, they seem to know that they're fucked. I mean, he just shot a police officer. So they're like, to hell with this bank robbery, and they decide to flee. And Cool C, he runs toward the front entrance, while the goon flees through a side door. And so, boom, Cool C busts out of the bank. And right in that moment, another police officer shows up. And he sees him fleeing the bank. And he probably says something like, "Stop right there!" And blam, 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 he starts shooting. And Cool C, he starts shooting back like blam, blam, blam. And this whole thing suddenly turns into a whole big shootout. And as Cool C is running away, he accidentally drops his pistol on the sidewalk outside the bank. But, lucky for him, he is able to make it to the green minivan where Steady B is waiting for him, and skirt, they speed away. While the other goon runs away on foot, and he accidentally drops his pistol as well, and he leaves it behind. So Steady B and Cool C, they drive for about a mile, then they ditch the stolen minivan, and they get away. Meanwhile, Officer Baird is rushed to the hospital, and she, unfortunately, doesn't survive. She was actually the first female police officer in Philadelphia history to be killed in the line of duty. And as sad as that is, despite the fact that Cool C and his friends didn't get any money out of this, it looks like they may have just gotten away with murder. Until immediately after the robbery, police are on the scene. And they're at the bank and they're investigating the whole thing. And of course, they find the 2 guns that the guys had dropped. And one of those guns, they trace back to a woman, and they go and they question this woman, and she says that, yeah, she bought this gun for Steady B. The other gun, they trace back to a guy who's a relative of the goon. And so the police go and question this relative, and he tells them that his gun was stolen by the goon. And so 2 days later, police show up to Steady B's apartment, and bam, they arrest him. And I couldn't find a mugshot of him, but here is a picture. And so they bring him into the station and they question him, and pretty quickly he confesses that, yeah, he was a part of the bank robbery, and he tells them that Cool C and the other guy were also involved. And a few days later, bam, they arrest Cool C. Here's a mugshot. 2 weeks after that, bam, they arrest the other goon at a routine traffic stop. And I couldn't actually find any pictures of him online. And so ultimately, Steady B goes to trial, and he's found guilty, and he gets sentenced to life in prison, while the other goon is also found guilty, and he gets sentenced to life in prison, while Cool C also goes to trial, and he's found guilty, and because he's the one who actually killed Officer Baird, he gets sentenced to death.